Johnny Ray loads up the front end and launch control is underway as they go down then to turn one. Who's it going to be that tips it in first? Rutter goes through. Rutter goes through from the second row of the grid. Superb from Michael Rutter. Can he pull it down across the puddles? He can. Tommy Hill's there as well in second place. Then it's Gregorio Lavia, it looks to be on bike number one. But number three, the Stobart Honda. Who would have called it? It is Michael Rutter out there at the moment. So Rutter looking so good. Then it's Tommy Hill. Then it is Gregorio Lavia. Then it's Ryoichi Kiyanari. I think probably from his teammate Carl Harris. It is Carl Harris.
Behind him, Johnny Ray. So Johnny again didn't get off the line very well. These conditions proving really treacherous for the Red Bull Honda. Gregorio Lavia looking good in second. Carl Harris had to look at the inside of Kiyanari.
Got to be careful, of course, because Kiyanari now really is in a charge mode as far as the championship is concerned. And you've got to be sure to make the pass as underneath goes Gregorio Lavia on number 8, Tommy Hill on the Virgin Mobile bike. He's gone back a place. Carl Harris is hustling Ryoichi Kiyanari, and really no mistakes can be had at this part of the race because the penalty does not fit the crime. If they go off here, they lose everything.
Fourth on the grid for Gregorio Lavia, wasn't where he wanted to be at the end of qualifying, couldn't match the pace. They were in the mid-19s, the pole position guys, and Gregorio had a bottom lip out. He was having his head down, he was very miserable about it. Ryoichi Kiyanari now having a look at the inside of Tom Hill. Not from back there, you're not Ryoichi.
Johnny Ray, the pole sitter, 65, looking for a way around the outside of Carl Harris. He's got a big fight on his hands. If he does that, he goes underneath Carl Harris. That's a great move there as we widen out and catch it going down into the complex. Carl Harris has muscled his way back in front of Johnny Ray. Through has got Ryoichi Kiyanari on Tommy Hill, so Kiyanari now slides up into that third place behind Gregorio Lavia.
Looked like Johnny Ray slipped off his foot pegs just as he was hitting the brakes to go into that hairpin.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
But these,
it's like floating the boat out there at the moment. You might as well go jet skiing. I've never seen so much water for some time. Well,
what's all that flapping out the back of Johnny Ray? It looks like he's got some stuff, tape off the back of his waterproofs or something.
Well, quite often you stick all your bits down, don't you, so that your water doesn't get in your boots and everywhere else in these kind of conditions. And maybe he's just got a bit of a tape flapping around at the moment.
He's got Tommy Hill flapping around behind him at the moment. He just took him there going into the
Tommy
chicane.
Hill's going backwards though rather than forwards at this particular point. We're on lap 2 of 18. Still Michael Rutter leads from Gregorio Lavia's
Harris.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Early call, wrong
words. We must be getting better.
Yeah, Leon Haslam, Johnny Ray. All our tips beforehand, but conditions have put play to that.
Harris through on Kia. I don't quite see where he did that, but number 9, Carl Harris has gone past Ryoichi Kiyanari. Harris fancies himself a bit in this one as well, didn't he? Look how quick he's got up to the rear end of the Airwaves Ducati.
Well, you remember at Alton Park when we were surmising whether there was team orders or not, when he sat sort of shotgun to Ryoichi Kiyanari, and then 3 laps from the end, Kyo made a break. I was talking to Carl about that yesterday, and he said he was trying everything he could to hang on to the back of Kyo.
You know, you said about slipping off footrest. We just saw the same thing there from Harris. Harris having a look at the inside of Gregorio Lavia, but that would have been a lunge from back there. Was it last year when it was the Harris versus Michael Rutter thing at Alton Park as well, where those two got stuck together? So we might be having a bit more of that in a minute, part 2.
Talking about slipping off footrests, this morning down in pit lane, Tommy Hill took his race boots and he was actually cutting, I kid you not, cutting grooves into the bottom of it.
Oh, Marty Nutt has gone down. The Ulsterman Marty Nutt then on the Nutt Suzuki is down out of the Superbike Cup. And he was in a commanding position after race 1 today. He was putting it to Chris Martin, the Superbike Cup leader. So Marty Nutt out, but at least he's not injured anymore. 3, Rutter goes through. Gregorio Lavia under a lot of pressure now from number 9, Carl Harris. Harris having a look up the inside of Gregorio Lavia. I think he's a little too far back, yes he is. That camera angle just about fools me every time. You can see, outside is a bow wave, and inside comes Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray, well, I really feel sorry for Johnny Ray. He's within he's so close to winning his first Superbike race. I mean, race 1 today, he's putting in pole position now, and he's just 19 years old. Peter Hickman is the only one younger than him in this race.
Carl Harris is in 6th place in the championship overall.
Oh, here we go. Harris got good drive then, dropped it straight underneath Michael Rutter. Rutter went a little bit wide there, went for the classic line. I'm having a bit of that, said Carl Harris, and just straight through. HM Plant Honda. Well, I don't suppose they mind which way round it is, do they? You've got an HM Plant Honda out front, whether it's Harris or Kiyanari. Although Kiyanari needs to make sure he keeps the points haul going in the ascending.
Yeah, Ryoichi Kiyanari currently in 4th place.
This is where...
Well, Blade just runs a little bit wide, doesn't he?
He just looks for the line, I think. And Harris, being ever the opportunist, just gave it a little squirt in between the two, the double apex there. Now then, who's that in the slipstream of number 2? It is Haslam, indeed. I recognise the helmet, but he looked a little bit for a moment like a Tommy Hill helmet. Through comes Haslam. Harris has the fastest lap of the race last time round, but I wouldn't be surprised to see... Where was he off to then? I think he got car park grip, didn't he? Went for a bit of extra tarmac out in the car park, Haslam. Another shot indeed of...
No, I think this is the shot, Keith. I think he just
look.
runs it in there, and Blade just runs a little bit wide. A little bit wide, can't turn the bike enough, and Gregorio Olivier just nips up the inside and drive all the way through.
Yeah, and no drive at all for Rutter as he was on the... well, it limits the revs when you got the old traction control working. Got 10 laps to go. I'll tell you what, Haslam is so fast coming down into the braking area there. Can he make the stop? He can't make the stop is the question. Well, that was all Haslam's fault. Yeah. Haslam came in there too hot. I asked if he could make the stop. He can't make the stop. And off he pokes Michael Rutter. Well,
what would be going through your mind right now if you were Rutter?
Strangulation.
Yeah.
I would be wanting to get after Mr. Haslam. I mean, it wasn't Rutter's fault. Rutter doesn't do that to anybody else in this particular circumstance. Haslam, very keen indeed to get under him, just backs it in a little bit much and then runs wide, takes Michael Rutter with him. Rutter's on the wide line, domino effect. There is nowhere where you can turn that bike. The grass is wet. I mean, he did well not to throw it on the floor when he got to the greenery. And Shane Burns snipped through as well, ever the opportunist. So Burns gone through, Laverty's gone through as well on Michael Rutter. There, 33 bike is Michael Laverty. So what could have been a race win here for Michael Rutter, or certainly looked like it from the opening laps, has now turned into a disaster and he's way down the order.
I don't think you can class him in the same category as that man there.
Haslam gets good drive then, and I reckon the old traction control kicked in on Lavia at that particular point, because it looked like Haslam managed to find some dry drive and go by. He's out wide, that's cost him dearly again, but he's got the drive and he keeps the position. Haslam has gone through on Lavia, and I'd be surprised if Lavia has an answer to that, because I think Haslam on the racetrack was a quicker man. And I'll tell you what, Carl Harris can't go to sleep, because if he takes it too easy, this young man is going to be after him. Haslam looking very quick, 1:27.8. He's doing everything he can, a second and a half, 1.6 seconds quicker than Harris that time round. He's got, what, 4 laps to do. Dear me, this might be a bit closer than I thought it might have been. 6 seconds is the lead, Harris over Haslam, last time over the line.
Hill.
Tommy Hill's down. So Tommy Hill, I don't know what that hand signal was. You can tell us all later. Answers on a postcard, please.
You do know what that hand signal was, Keith, if you're honest.
He's not happy, is he? Yeah, he's a great kid, Tommy Hill, as well. He's another one for the future. We've got such a lot of talent coming up at the moment. Young talent coming up in bikes here in this country.
You know, the thing with Tommy Hill is this year he's really developed as a team leader out there for Virgin.
Did you see that?
Riding the ripples.
Every hair on me. I know there's not a lot of them anymore on my head, but went on end then. Jesus, he went through that corner then on the rev limiter or on the traction control. You could hear it banging away, and it was on its side, knee dragging in the puddle. Superb style. No wonder he's quicker than anyone else out there. And he's closing on Carl Harris. We're in the complex. How many? It was 6.4 last time round. What's it going to be this time? 6.4 was the gap. Hasn't come to the line now.
You don't often see a rider in the wet or in these conditions enjoying it quite as much as Leon is right now.
It's magnificent to watch somebody at the top of their game. Leon Haslam's ridden 125s in Grand Prix, 250 in Grand Prix, 500s in Grand Prix. He's ridden superbikes, super sports. He's ridden scooters.
CB 500 Cup.
CB 500 Cup. You name it, he's ridden it. And he's still only, what, 23 years old, 24 years old.
I tell you, Leon's taking chunks out of him there. First third of this lap, I don't think we'll have seen one that fast all day, giving it dry, wet and whatever, but Leon is hunting him down. I reckon it's on for the complex.
Watch him through here, and I reckon you might be right, but it's going to be a case of... through that right-hander. Where is Haslam finding the grip? Michelin shot, HM Plant Honda versus Dunlop shot Airways Ducati. This will be the best timed race of the decade.
He's on him.
Haslam managed to get by him at the hairpin. We've just got the complex to go. Haslam's going to go for the inside for sure. There is no way that Carl Harris is going to... Haslam goes through. Can he pull it back down again? We're going to be strangled by rugby men in a minute if we carry on.
Look at Carl off the footrest.
It didn't fall off it. He was pushed off it by Leon Haslam. Haslam forced it under. Carl's going to come back at him, but can't. He's too far back. Leon Haslam. The best judge race I have seen in such a long, long time. Haslam wins the Ducati. HM Plant Honda in second place. Carl Harris did everything right.
Wow.
He was still beaten. Colin right there in the middle of your picture will be ecstatic. 1:26.661 was Haslam's time on the very last lap. Carl Harris cannot be disappointed with his performance. Did Shane Byrne come through on Lavia? No, he didn't. Lavia got third place.